Today, Intel's 6 GHz monster gets benchmarked, RTX 4070 specs, Nvidia's completely lost it here. AMD is set to crush it, and we have RX 7900 XTX and 7900 XT performance. Welcome everyone to Gamer Meld. First up for today, Intel's monster new 13900KS was recently benchmarked. For those who don't remember, the 13900KS is set to be a special edition 13900K that comes with stock boost clocks up to a whopping 6 GHz. They likely get that through binning the 13900K to find the best performing units and turn them into the KS models. Either way, when it comes to the benchmark, it comes from Geekbench, and you can see that it effectively confirms the naming to be the 13900KS. And of course, while that's not a surprise, when Intel announced the upcoming chip, they never actually gave it a name. So now we know. Moving up to performance, we can see that the 13900KS got a single core score of 2319 and a multi-core score of 26,774. That puts the KS model around 4% faster than the K model in single core and 10% faster in multi-core. And there are a couple more benchmarks that give it slightly less performance, but overall nothing groundbreaking here, right around what we expected. Then again, we are still talking about 6 GHz stock, so that's definitely something to be proud of. I just doubt it'll be worth the price that Intel will almost certainly put it at. Next up, whether it's learning to code or any number of other computer science topics, today's sponsor knows their stuff, and it's why I trust them more than anyone. I'm of course talking about Brilliant, the online learning platform that was built to teach the STEM field, and they do it right, which is learning by doing. For example, when you sign up, check out their course called Algorithm Fundamentals, where they first get you to think about solving problems by programming autonomous delivery trucks, starting out with easy commands but leading to harder tasks like repeating instructions. Eventually, you even learn how to make your own spell check system, then arrays and more. Basically, Brilliant is the best place to learn computer science, and you can actually try them out for free today when you visit brilliant.org/gamermeld. Plus, the first 200 of you who sign up will get 20% off the annual premium. Once again, that's brilliant.org/gamermeld. Next up for today, while we await the 12GB RTX 4080 rebranding, it looks like we actually have specs on the regular RTX 4070. In a new tweet by resident leaker Copite7Kimmy, he shared specs for the upcoming card. According to him, it is an 8104 GPU, which once again shows that the 12GB 4080 really should have been a 70 variant, given it's also made from the 8104 GPU. Well, Nvidia sort of plays around with their GPUs anyway, but it definitely feels like it should have been a 70 card. Either way, it would come with 5,888 CUDA cores, which is a pretty significant drop from the 7,680 cores we expect out of the RTX 4070 Ti or 12GB 4080. With that said, it comes with the same 12GB of GDDR6X memory at 21 gigabits per second across a 192-bit bus, so it would have the same memory specs as the 4070 Ti. Finally, according to this, it would come with a 250-watt TDP, so a bit of a drop from the 12GB 4080. All in all, it could be a good buy, but that completely depends on the pricing. Next up, it looks like Nvidia may have completely lost their mind. We're talking AMD would pummel Nvidia with this. In a news story by WCCF Tech, they claim that their AIB partners are being told that Nvidia is planning to launch the Founders Edition 4070 Ti at an MSRP of $899. Remember that the 4070 Ti is expected to be what Nvidia ultimately calls their 12GB RTX 4080. Except if you remember, the 12GB 4080 was announced at the exact same price. Meaning if this is right, Nvidia is literally planning to release the 4070 Ti, which is the 12GB 4080, at the same price as the 12GB 4080. So they literally just changed the name. All I can say is, are they out of their mind? The reason people were so mad at the announcement was because it was clearly meant to be a 70 card, with Nvidia calling it a 4080 so they can bump up the price, not just because of the stupid name. Now, I will say that WCCF Tech claims that custom variants will be able to be around $50 cheaper, but who cares? Even if the price was $50 cheaper, this would be a terrible move by Nvidia. $850 for a 70 card? For example, the 3070 Ti was $599 and the 2070 Super was $499. This is unbelievable. But it gets even worse for Nvidia when we compare it to AMD's RX 7900 series. In a news story by Video Cards, they found brand new benchmarks with both of AMD's new 7900 series cards. The benchmarks were done in 3D Mark, which are much better at showing gaming performance than the Geekbench benchmarks we saw just recently. Starting things off, we have 3D Mark's Time Spy, which is supposed to show DirectX 12 performance. And here we can see that at 4K, both of AMD's RX 7900 XTX and 7900 XT are neck and neck with the RTX 4080. We're talking just a couple performance points away. When we move to 1440p, Nvidia's RTX 4080 does take a bit of a lead, with it beating the 7900 XTX by around 10% and the 7900 XT by 17%. Now, that may sound bad, but when we look at Firestrike, we can see that things change. And Firestrike is made to represent performance in DirectX 11. Here at 4K, the 7900 XTX beats the 4080 by 9%, with the 7900 XT being neck and neck. And at 1440p, the 7900 XTX wins by 11%, once again with the 7900 XT being neck and neck with the 4080. Basically, AMD's new cards are very close to Nvidia's RTX 4080, and that's a major issue for Nvidia, especially if the 4070 is $899, because if you remember, the performance numbers Nvidia gave before canceling the 12GB 4080, it was bad. I'm talking the 16GB model is around 20 to 30% faster when you look at rasterization instead of DLSS 3. So the 7900 XT looks to be priced at the 4070 Ti, yet gets the performance near the 16GB 4080. All I can say is Nvidia may be in some serious trouble. So while that does it for today, are you pumped for AMD's upcoming 7900 series, or do you think Nvidia's ray tracing performance is enough to keep you there? Let me know down in the comments below. And don't forget to try out Brilliant at brilliant.org/gamermeld. And as always, have a great day.